Okay, I'm going to do the notes for the quotient of powers. In the last set of notes, we did the product of powers. So when we were multiplying, we added the exponents. When we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. Okay, so my first example, I got x to the fifth divided by x to the second. So what happens here is I'll have x to the fifth power minus 2, and then that's where that 3 comes from. Now, but what I want you to do is follow the bigger number. So in this case, 5 was the bigger number. It was on the top, so the 2 went to the top. In my next example, the 5 is on the bottom. So what's going to happen here is that 2 is going to come down here. But that leaves 1 on the top. Okay? And just like on the last rule, the numbers we still do separate. So I got 6 over 9. That's going to give me 2 over 3. You still reduce it. Now the letters, we're going to follow the rule we just covered. So I got 8 to the third on the top. I got 8 to the eighth on the bottom. 8's bigger than the 3. So that means the 3 is going to the bottom. So here I'm going to have A, 8 minus 3. That's where this 5 comes from. When I go to the letter B, 7 is on the top. The B on the bottom doesn't have a number, so that means that's a 1. 7's bigger, so 1's going to the top. So on the top, I'm going to have B to the 7th minus 1. And that will give me B to the 6th. So we should not have negative exponents. So when dividing terms with like bases, the exponents look if it is top heavy, that's when the larger exponent is on the top. Or if it's bottom heavy, that's when the larger exponent is on the bottom. Then you're going to subtract the exponents. All right, so now we are ready for 6.123 decimals, where you should be doing numbers 4 and 5. That's the decimals. And I'll do one of those examples also. All right, so I'm going to be doing slide 5. We should be doing numbers 4 and 5. I'm going to do 5. That's the more difficult one. So let's go ahead and start off with, I have 4 over 8. Remember, you're going to do 4 over 8 just like you would. So if I divide those, I'm going to get 2 on the bottom. Okay? Now I'm going to look at my C minus 4 and then C to the third. Well, since that exponent is negative on the top, that guy's going to have to move to the bottom. And when it moves to the bottom, the sign must change. That's the same as doing, I'm going to write on this side, that's the same as doing 3 minus negative 4. You know how we get the positive? That's what happened right there. Now, when I look at the letter D, I got D to the fifth and D to the second. The 5's bigger, so that means the D is going to stay on the top. And then when I move the 2 to the top, I'm going to be subtracting them. And now I'm ready to write my answer. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So on the top, I have d to the third. Then I got 3 plus 4, which is 7. And I have c to the seventh on the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and type that answer in. I want to do a fraction, so I'm going to select my little fraction button. On the top, I have d raised to the third. Then I'm going to go to the bottom. I have to put my 2, c. Again, I'm going to raise it to the seventh. And then I'll submit it. And that's how we do those.